If you're an entrepreneur, this one's for you. Today, I'm joined by my colleagues at iPark, Hani Haidar, the program manager, and Mahaz Wahid, the director at iPark. You're no longer the associate director, to talk about a hot topic: the President's Innovation Challenge, the Demo Day, and the journey at AUB iPark. Welcome, guys, to the podcast.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you guys for joining us. You know, when we used to run iPark last year, we had the Demo Day and we had the President's Innovation Challenge. But now, somehow, we decided to merge them into one journey. What's with that? Why now? What happened?
Well, honestly, looking back, we've been doing this for the last 4 years or 5, and we noticed that we are creating 2 funnels for the same thing. So we thought, why not streamline everything into one funnel? This way, the President Innovation Challenge startups can benefit from the capacity building in the program, from the mentorship. Though the winners used to get admitted, but we want to have more every year the finalists are so good. So we want to streamline them through the program and have the opportunity to know them in depth before we decide that they can qualify for the finals. And this way we will also streamline the funding.
Which means that startups that are part of the core programs at iPark can join the pick.
Right.
What about external startups that join?
Well, automatically, the startups who will be selected to move from the build stage to the go-to-market stage will qualify for the President Innovation Challenge. And then we will select from the applicants from outside the program who meet the selection criteria post MVP, let's say, and for the social innovation, it could be idea stage. Now, Hani will tell you about it. So we will select from these 2, and both of them will pitch to a selection committee that is composed of investors and subject matter experts, where the committee will select a subgroup of these who will be the finalists for the President Innovation Challenge.
And so now we have one big, huge event that's happening in December.
Yeah.
And how does that event fit into the whole iPark journey, from idea all the way up to the post-market growth, you name it? So what's the journey at iPark look like right now?
Well, typically, we launch the call for applications in November. We start the idea validation program in the first quarter of the year. And then those who commit to this journey pitch to an investment committee, and we select a subset to go to the build stage. In the build stage, they do the product development stage, and they craft their go-to-market strategy. They finish this phase with a minimum viable product and go-to-market strategy and a scalable business model. And then they pitch again to the selection committee along with the President Innovation Challenge applicants who were not in the program, and they get selected for the go-to-market stage, and they apply to the President Innovation Challenge. This subset of startups, they both get the go-to-market journey and growth support, in addition to the funding they get at this stage.
Amazing. So basically, one big event, startups from the core program, startups from outside, they join after the build and accelerate stage, before the go-to-market stage.
Correct. And this big event, Rida, we noticed every year there's a hype, everybody is there, and the whole community is there, but it's so fast, and we're so busy, with the pitching and lining up the startups and so on. So we thought that this audience wants more, especially the students who are considering to go down this path, or the investors who would like to know more about the startups. So we said, why not bring all these great startups, because it's very competitive, Sometimes you have 10 finalists. You would wish that the 10 could win. They are that good. So this is why we're going to put them since the morning to participate in an exhibition, showcasing discussions, interactive networking activities, so that the community could benefit and get to know these startups more, and the startups could get more exposure, which will culminate in the evening with the President Innovation Challenge.
So if I'm an investor, it's an event that I don't want to miss, right? So it's a place I want to be, right?
If you're looking for good opportunities,
Definitely.
low risk investment.
If you like to make money, this is the place to be, guys. So if I'm for Hani, I'm a founder, let's say, assume I'm a founder, and I want to apply. Am I eligible? What are the eligibility criteria? How do I know if I fit into this competition?
Yeah, absolutely. So you would need one AUB affiliated team member on your team. You need to have an innovative idea and an idea that has the potential to grow and scale. So we're breaking it down into 3 different prizes. Each one has its own eligibility. Advanced stage would be $30,000. You would need a minimum viable product plus sales. So you would be eligible for that prize if you have those 2 things. The second prize is $15,000. You can have a minimum viable product for that. And we have the Social Innovation Prize, which is going to be Idea Stage Plus. So it's open for a wider community.
AUB affiliated, what does that mean?
So the AUB affiliated would be either on the team you have a student, faculty, alumni or staff.
That's amazing. So, for example, if someone is an alumni from AUB 30 years ago, and they decided to build their company.
Absolutely, absolutely. Alumni from all over the world, we encourage you to apply to this program.
Maha saying 30 years is some long time ago. You look lovely. Just FYI.
Rick,
Yeah. So
you just earned a bonus.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it indeed. And I know I recall last year, and I think this year is the same. We have some themes in the competition, right? So there are specific themes that startups should be under the umbrella of these themes. So what are these themes, if you'd like to?
We have 5 themes, and every year we look at the market and we look at the trends, the investment trends of big companies, what they're investing in, where the markets are going, where the venture capital money is going, and stuff like that. So we don't just recycle the themes every year. We actually innovate the process as an innovation park. So the first theme would be AI and deep tech. Now, I don't want you to think that we're just jumping on the AI trend. AI isn't just B2B SaaS or lovable or vibe coding. AI can be done for drug discovery, can be done for underwater mining, machining, robotics, space exploration. So there's so much AI can do, and deep tech engineering. And we have such a strong engineering school in AUB, a strong engineering alumni, that we believe this could be ripe for a lot of innovations to come out of it. Second is very important, energy and climate sustainability. Obviously, we live in this world. Most of us know about...
Especially with the heat, happening in the region and globally.
I mean, when I came back from New York, it was like 50 degrees or something. It was like walking into an oven. It was so hot. And, so I don't want to get into is global warming real or not, or stuff like that. That's not the point. Some people don't believe in it, but I think if you look at the charts, it's definitely the heat is definitely going up.
But regardless if there's global warming, we need innovation so that our trees remain alive.
Yeah.
Maha has some love for trees.
Yeah, special connection.
Special connection.
Right, absolutely. The guru with the forest. So we look at climate sustainability and all of its aspects, and of course we have to consider, especially that we have a medical center, health and predictive healthcare and longevity. All people want to be healthy. If you have $100 million but your health is down the drain, it's just a bad proposition for you in life. So innovations are that's going to prolong life and make life more...
To increase the quality of the life.
To make the quality of life increase by improving healthcare and people's health over a long term is definitely something we look at very closely. We also, one of the prizes is the Social Innovation Prize. And so this is also one of the themes we're looking at, but we're also looking at digital economies and inclusivity. As we know, we have an AUB program that also happens as part of the Zen AUB Innovation Park. So we're always looking for social innovation and inclusivity when we are running our programs. And finally, we have to look at the supply chains and logistics. This is something which is lots of startups come in. It's very difficult to penetrate, but you have Lebanese companies like Wakilni and Aramex that have done incredible things over the years. And we know now with the adoption of new technologies, the sky's the limit for other startups who want to enter this field.
It's amazing. And so again, I'm the founder here, and I want to apply. How can I increase my chances to win when applying? So what are you guys looking at when a startup founder applies?
Still engineer.
So there are 5 things, and I can get into each one. I'm just going to say the 5 of them.
Yeah.
So the value proposition, the innovation, the team, the business model, and the traction. So for value proposition, are you solving a real problem with a specified customer base? If you haven't thought through what you're trying to create and for who and why, and all of these existential things at some point, why am I doing this?
Who wants it?
Who wants it? Mm-hmm. Is somebody else already doing it? Why am I equipped and they are not? And some people say like, we want you to be coachable, but I see sometimes the founder that's kind of like, no, I really believe in this and you're wrong. That's it's an interesting vibe, I think.
So if you're that type, don't apply.
We like coachable, but I mean, it's also interesting to see the other who is like, no, I'm right. I know I can do it. There's 2 different types of founders, I think, when you look at this kind of thing. So when we talk about innovation, we can talk about technical business model or process. So technical would be something, let's say, in engineering and robotics in a certain we talked with Razor Capital about underwater mining. So that would be something very particular in a technical innovation to be able to create that kind of robot. A process could be, we have a startup, can name them MedAid, who have a very streamlined operational process, very agile, and they're able to generate large profits with a very small team because they just have such an efficient way of moving around the data on their system, basically, and the SEO that they use. And the business model would be, for instance, if you can combine cross-disciplinary entities and split the cost across different parts of your business unit, as not just concentrating all the value here. All the cost here, you can split up the cost and reduce the cost by distributing more of the efforts in more efficient ways, for instance.
Maybe more efficient, more effective, more scalable.
Indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So I think team, and everybody knows this, for very early stage or MVP plus or sales, the early traction, really, and this is very important when you think about it from an investor perspective, the investor is betting on you. We hear a lot that it's the story and the team that can implement it.
Yeah.
Then the story comes from the value proposition. So you get the story, you don't have a talented team that can really convince the founder, the investors. They can really convince us as investors, as iPark and other VCs and investment players that you're credible, you're trustworthy, you're capable, you're smart, you're talented, you're going to do whatever it takes to get to where you want to get. That's what we look for in a team. But ethics is so important. I mean, you can be... I was watching this video once, and the private equity partner was like, there's something called the intellectually challenged overachievers. So they always get to like VP of sales, or they get into this place or that place, but every time somebody would complain about integrity problems. So it's not enough to just be an overachiever. You need the integrity part as well. I think it's very important. And finally, traction. So we talked about the prize eligibility for the $30,000 prize. The traction would be MVP and sales. For the $15,000 prize, the traction would be MVP. And for the social innovation prize, for $10,000, the traction would just be idea plus, but it has to be a validated idea. We're not talking about like it's the first time you think of something forever. If you don't have an idea yet, you can apply, you do some research, build something, build a pitch deck, we give you templates. But that would be ideal for the idea validation program that comes up every year when it's built if you don't have any idea and you want to build it from scratch. So that's would be a place for you to go to try to create.
But for the challenge, they need to present evidence that they have validated their idea.
So mainly customer interviews would be a good way to do this, that they saw the customers had real pain point, we call it, and that the customers were interested to work with the startup to try to solve this problem.
If we don't see evidence the idea was validated, we will not spend the time and resources to go and ask subject matter experts about this new innovation.
Yeah. Speaking of subject matter experts, again, the startup applied, they're now part of this funnel. What can they get throughout this journey in the President's Innovation Challenge competition? So what do they get access to? The prizes were mentioned, so money is one component, but I believe there's many others. Can you elaborate on that, Maha?
I would start with mentorship and capacity building, but what I've been noticing, the community and network is the first thing that you would want to have part in. So I keep hearing from the founders, like in Personas, for example, that the community and network, they are, multiplying their growth rate. So this is one thing, because the founders interact. If you walk now, and you are walking now into iPark, you will see how founders of different startups are sitting together and talking about details and so on. So there's first the community and network and engagement, and then there's the mentorship and capacity building. There's the standard things that we would like them to learn, and there's also tailored mentorship and capacity building, and some of them ask for specific subject matter expert advice or consultancy. We do that too, and they also immediately, all the finalists and semi-finalists get access to our support services to help them, bridge the gap, whatever it is.
Support services such as what, for example?
It could be service providers for free or minimal rates that is startup friendly. It could be a software that we can provide them as AUB members. It could be our teams, business clinics. We have also consultancy clinics. All of these are available to our startups.
In fact, we recently partnered with Ernst & Young. We renewed our partnership for this year, where senior partners from EY globally are helping our founders on a one-on-one consultancy basis. All of that, you get that without any fee.
Right.
In addition to that, we have the Global Venture Network, which we're part of. Any founder that joins iPark can also benefit from
access to that.
To global perks, over $1 million in perks. You can get access to that, so which is also a great opportunity to you guys. And so the network, the money, the services, the perks, the community.
Access in general, like our startups have been going to Draper, Y Combinator, Skydeck, so Cyprus, Qatar.
And we've noticed many of those startups are coming out of the President's Innovation Challenge.
Yeah.
So most of them.
Yeah.
So these success stories are coming out from this place, from our country. Can you name a few of the success stories? I'd love to hear them, if you can remind me of them.
Oh my God, I'm so proud. So because there are many, I struggle to pick, so I wrote down. SCADX is the most recent one. He won last year, and SCADX, oh my God, he grew so fast. And his peak growth was during the war. It's so funny. So his customer base now is so big, and he scaled up to Saudi Arabia, and he's closing a big investment deal.
FYI, I was speaking to Avo, the founder of SCADX. He told me that he was able to go to Saudi because he won the prize money of PIC. It was a direct return on investment.
There's another iPark related encounter when we took him to Web Summit.
Indeed.
Yeah, also, I mean, it was all his work, but again, it's opening doors. He was able to access the new investment opportunity through the Web Summit participation. And there's Ustaz. They already exited. They raised 1.8 million, I think. I'm not sure about the figure, but they exited. So also, it was one of the President Innovation Challenge winners, I think, in 2021. Yeah.
So if you're a founder, joining PIC will increase your chances to succeed, your likelihood to succeed over time. But also if you're an investor, you're looking at the top talent to invest in.
Yeah, you have early access to high potential startups. I mean, Hani can name also a couple of success stories.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have Nadira and Social Innovation. They won first prize a few years ago. They've been able to scale to different parts of the GCC. And they have 7 figures now in the revenue and funds raised.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'd like to ask this question to you both. What is an advice that you'd like to give founders when they're thinking in front of their screen, should I apply or should I not apply? So what's one piece of advice you'd like to leave them?
For me, by all means, apply. I mean, the least you could gain is learning and network. Mm-hmm. And the most you could gain is a big investment.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose. They should apply. You should take your chance. I mean, you might think you have no chance. I don't want to talk about a particular company that thought they had no chance and ended up winning a prize. So you might end up winning a prize if you just put your foot in there. Maybe what you think you have isn't. Maybe you don't value what you think you have as much as if we saw it, we could say, no, that's cool. I mean, you should have more confidence. Sometimes you're not confident and you say, no, I'm not ready. But sometimes you're never ready. You just have to go with it.
I'd like to quote my father on this particular point. He used to always tell me that if you have nothing to lose, you have everything to win. So I think that's the mindset that...
I'm going to lose it.
If you have nothing... Yeah.
You know, about if you're a founder and why apply, I noticed 2 types of founders who might be hesitant to apply. Mm-hmm. There's the researcher who could tell you that I like to innovate, I like research, but I don't like to become a business person or run a business. So we met a few of this type, and they ended up partnering with business people who grew their business or their venture for them. Mm-hmm. So if this is the barrier, we'll figure it out. There's also another type that I met that who constantly likes to come up with new startups. I know an innovator, Ahmed.
Yeah, we do know Ahmed.
Yeah, so Ahmed has a new venture in mind every couple of days. So also the conclusion on that one is so what? Be innovative, build, operate, and transfer. Allocate a team that could operate this startup and move on. So whatever the barrier in your mind is, apply and we'll figure it out.
Amazing. And if I want to apply, where do I apply? Where do I find the application form? How are the applications open by now?
The applications are open, and so the easiest thing is to find our website. Go to AUB's website, aub.edu.lb/iPark. Mm-hmm. Okay, on iPark website, you go to programs and challenges and choose this year, 2025.
Amazing. Any concluding thoughts from you guys before we wrap this up?
I don't know if you want to include this, but no, you need to. If you want to apply, you have to upload the financial model. So if you're all scared, buy a course on how to do that. We'll give you the template. But if you're not comfortable, you can just watch some videos on YouTube.
We can help.
We can connect you with
This is coming from Hani's pain, not finding the financial model. And here I want to mention that on the website you will find all the resources you need, and you will find capacity building brief videos so that you could familiarize yourself with the parts of the application that you might wonder about.
Amazing. Maha, Hani, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching, and do apply, or if you're an investor, attend. Cheers.
Cheers.